Over the past 365 days, as you can see, my agency has booked over 1,000 sales calls and we've completed 788. This has resulted in signing over 100 clients for our business. And you see the year before that, we actually signed even more. So I basically want to pull back the curtains on this strategy that we currently use to book sales calls for our own agency as well as our client and literally give you everything. You can see it's been responsible for us booking this many sales calls and generating over $1 million in revenue since I started my agency just about 2.5 years ago. So it's going to be a no BS guide. I just want to give you literally the scripts we're using right now with real world data. So if I go into My Smart Lead, it is September. Honestly, over summer, I had a bit more of a low-key summer and I wasn't running any outbound. We've just started up again now. You can see I started these on the 6th of September, 10 days ago, and we've already been able to generate 4 or 5 qualified sales calls just from these campaigns, sending out a few thousand emails, right? And this is probably the position that many of you want to be in, just be able to spin up campaigns that quickly get converting straight away, without all the testing, without all the back and forth, without finding which market to go into, without deciding what script to go with. I'm just going to pull back the curtains and give you exactly what you need to do. The first thing with any outreach campaign is to find your niche. So it all starts with the niche. If I go to here, I can start to map out exactly what a niche would look like for you and what criteria I look for when I go into a niche. Sorry, these are all my notes that I run my company internally. So the first step is to find a niche. Now, what most people do is they get this niche selection process wrong. They basically go into a niche that's already saturated, that everyone else is doing, to try and copy other agencies, and it doesn't end up working. Like, people will basically try and go into like SaaS, they'll try and go into e-com, they'll try and work with marketing agencies, but they're not going to see any success. The reason being, these markets are extremely saturated in cold email. And yes, you can make them work, but if you're a beginner and you're below 20K a month with this business model, you're really going to struggle to book calls with these markets. So I would actively avoid them. Instead, what I would look for is blue ocean markets. Right, blue ocean. What this means is there's significantly less saturation and less competition in this market, meaning you can do everything the same. You can use a similar script framework, similar list building process to these markets, but you'll get outsized returns. This is honestly exactly what I've done with my campaigns here. I haven't used any crazy AI personalization. I haven't used any crazy list building techniques using Clay. All of this stuff will optimize your campaigns, and I'm going to get into that in future videos. But for now, to get started, you just don't need that. I will literally pull back the curtain and show you the script we're using. It doesn't contain any of this fancy stuff. The reason why it works is because no one's really targeting these markets right now. And especially because we're going into other countries as well that people are not targeting, it just makes it so much easier to get replies. The types of markets you probably want to look into are like recruiting, right? Manufacturing is a good one. Commercial cleaning or home services, right? You want this to be B2B, so commercial home services. These are just types of markets that people don't really think of. They're not the sexy ones. They're not really exciting. They're not VC funded, but these are industries that are working right now. So you want to find something that's a little bit like boring, right? Obviously B2B and high ticket. With all of these things, if you tick all of these boxes, you'll find a market that works for you. Now, a little cheat code here, what we do actually is everyone just targets the US, UK, etc. What we try and do is find economies that aren't targeted as much by people running cold email. So it means, simply put, if I target a company that's only getting 10 cold emails a week versus one that's getting 30 a day, the one that's getting 10 cold emails a week is more likely to reply to me just because there is less noise in their inbox. So not only do we go for blue ocean markets, but we also go for blue ocean geographies as well. Things like the UAE, Saudi Arabia, so obviously the Middle East, right? Ones like EU countries such as Romania, Bulgaria, right? Even Australia, New Zealand. They just don't get targeted as much as the UK and the US. So it's easily small, quick wins you can make when targeting using cold email to actually get better replies. It's just go for more blue ocean markets, more untapped markets, recruiting, manufacturing, home services in the UAE, EU, Australia. It just means they're not going to be targeted as much and your outreach is going to go so much further. That's really what our campaigns are built off. Now, if I open up this campaign, I'll literally show you. Let's go into sequences and I'll show you exactly what we're running with. So if I go back to here, we should be able to see this one. B had more positive replies, so 36 6.36% positive reply rate and a 2.13% reply rate. These numbers aren't the best thing in the world. There's definitely people online with better numbers than this, but with these numbers, we're booking qualified sales calls every week, right? Pretty much almost every day at this point. And you can do this yourself if you implement this script. So here's a script that I will literally give you, and I'll break down why it works. I'm very aware that me putting this probably on here is going to stop this script working, but when you understand the frameworks, you know exactly how to rewrite them. So I'm not really too fussed about it or too worried about it, right? So let's break it down. So the first bit is the intro and personalization. So intro, so hey, first name, and then personalized opener. We use Claygen in Clay to do this, to create a completely personalized first line. However, I actually even stopped doing this because I found it wasn't making the biggest impact with the things that we were personalizing off. So we were personalizing off their website and LinkedIn URL, and I was basically saying to Claygen, create me a personalized first line for a cold email based off this person's website and LinkedIn URL. It was pretty basic, and it makes the email a little bit more personalized, but honestly, I started removing this because it didn't really do anything. So if you can see, go to final review, you can see what they started to look like. Hey Ryan, impressed with how you built 1,000 plus commission-based reps monthly and launched 20-step S20 system at SIU. Like it's personalized to them, but it doesn't add a whole bunch in, right? It doesn't completely change it. So I just started moving away from this without the AI personalization, because you can implement so much AI into your cold emails. There's so many things you can do to make it higher impact. This was just a pretty low leverage, low impact way of doing it. So I actually removed it. So you don't need to add that in there. And I still managed to book qualified sales calls, right? So you want to go with the intro, nice and short, hey name. Then what you want to go is straight into the offer. And what the offer looks like is, if we could help you do outcome, so if we could automatically find when all of your Dream 100 companies has a key employee leave and send them a highly personalized email pitching one of your candidates, would that be of interest? This is our core offer, and it's around the outcome we can generate for them. It's also speaking the lingo of this market, right? So we understand that for recruitment companies, a lot of them will go based off which companies have open jobs, or which companies have, put up that they're hiring. You can actually break through the noise and find companies before they even put the job post up, if you can find when someone at that company leaves, right? So if we can find our clients, which are going to be recruitment companies, a list of all of the companies that have just had someone leave and send them a highly personalized email pitching one of your candidates basically as a replacement. So, hey, I saw so-and-so just left to move on to company. I have someone who I think would be a great fit. Would that be of interest? Then we can pitch that, right? Then what we want to do after the offer is add in social proof. Right, so we've been working with recruiters like you whose competition relies on chasing job posts instead of reaching out to the company before they even have the role posted. And then a very soft CTA. Right, soft CTA, which is just, would you be open to see how this works? And if they say yes, then we pitch your call, right, and get them into a call. So this is not your typical email in terms of like, oh, we can book you 15 qualified sales calls. We've tried that, and we realized that people just aren't adherent to it anymore. They don't want to hear that stuff in their inbox because everyone and their nan is sending it to them, and there's no longer interest in that. What they are interested in is something that's specific to their market, using the lingo of their market, right? So we know that a lot of recruiters rely on chasing job posts. They'll wait till a company's posted a job, and then they'll try and get in and pitch a candidate for that open role. If you can find a company who's just had someone leave and pitch a candidate, then it's a much more intent-driven way to do it than just basically chase job posts. And another benefit is a lot of recruitment companies will do this manually but won't know how to automate this. So it's pretty much a value-driven email, right? It's very value-led, describing exactly how you can help them. It's not the craziest email in the world, as I said, but this is the framework that we're using. So intro, offer, social proof, and soft CTA. This is what I'm using for all of my other campaigns as well. I'm not going to show you the copy to those two. If you want that, then you can join my free school community and I'll give away absolutely everything to you. But in this video, I'm just going to show you that recruitment script, which I've already shown. So hopefully it's useful. And this video breaks down exactly what you need to do to get results using cold email. You don't need to do anything fancy. Honestly, the main results are really in this blue ocean market, right? You need to find untapped niches and untapped geographies that no one else is targeting, and it makes your cold emails go so much further. So give that a bit of thought. If you're curious around what markets are working well right now and what scripts are working well right now, as I say, join my completely free school community below. But if not, That's completely fine. I hope this video has been useful to you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.